Hey everyone, welcome back to Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. My name is Lori. I am a fashion reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and I also sell things directly from my website at lorisbostonfound.com. How are you? Happy May. Can you believe it's May? I am in complete and utter shock that we are partway through the month of May. It's just crazy to me. I'm very excited for today's video because I am talking about what sold in the month of April. The last what sold video that I put out was comparing the first 2 weeks of March to the second 2 weeks of March. We've been quarantining since March 15th, so it was really an interesting time to compare the first 2 weeks to the second 2 weeks of March. Right now, I'm going over the entire month of April, and I have to say I'm really pleased with my sales results. For the amount of work that I put in, I've been juggling a lot of other activities this month. I haven't been quite as consistent with my listing, and I still managed to do over $4,000 in sales on Poshmark, not including any direct sales or eBay sales. So I'm really happy with that. So I do have, as always, a lot of stuff written down for you. So I'm going to go through my numbers. Before I get into my sales for the day, I just want to share with you that I am so happy to announce that I will be donating $245 to the Boston Resiliency Fund. I actually sold like 100 actual sales. 15 of those sales were bundle sales. So I was donating $2 from every regular sale and $5 from every bundle sale to the Boston Resiliency Fund. So in total, that comes to $245. I'm very excited to make that contribution, and I'm so grateful for everybody who contributed to that, whether they knew about it or they just made a purchase in my closet and I was able to make that donation. If you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that I do my what sold videos a little weird. Sometimes it's overwhelming because I do it like in a 1 month chunk. Last month I did break it down into two what sold videos, or just comparing the first 2 weeks to the second 2 weeks. But this time I'm going all in for the month of April. So just for starters, overall in the month of April, I sold $4,370 on Poshmark. So that does not include any outside sales. And that is what my selling price was. This month was really interesting because a lot of the things that I listed were from my closet. So it's actually going to yield a higher profit because I wasn't putting money out for any of the inventory that I listed this month. My average sale price, right in line where it usually is, was $29.13. My goal is to be at $30 or above, so I was really happy with that. And I did sell a ton of bundles this month, and I'm going to talk a lot about bundles. If you haven't already seen my video, I go over in detail my bundle strategy and how I make sales and how I've had some success. So I'll link that. I just learned how to link things up here. So I will link that up here if you want to check out that video. So in total, including the items that were sold as part of a bundle, I moved 155 pieces from my inventory, which is really exciting for me. I'm finally under 1,200. I'm at like 1,197, and I'm so excited. My goal is to be at 1,000 or less by the time we're out of quarantine. So I was really excited to see that move. Like, I'm actually getting through some of my inventory. Super happy about that. I gave out $57.99 in shipping discounts. And I had to do a few label upgrades for bundles that were over the 5-pound limit. And so that cost $19.95 in label upgrades. My average bundle sale, now I sold 15 bundles. That does not include my bundle boxes. These are individual items that were put into a bundle. So I sold 15 bundles, and the average bundle sale was $90.60. So that is really an important number for me. I love selling bundles. I love carrying a variety of items in my closet. That gives people the opportunity to bundle things because I have so many pieces and a variety of sizes and styles. I feel like there's something for everyone in my closet, or at least I try to make a variety of pieces available. Here's a really interesting number. I moved 155 units in total. Of those, 79 pieces were in bundles. So that is like more than half of the number of units that went out my door in the month of April were part of bundles. That is a very significant number to me. That tells me that I do want to keep the volume of items that I have in my closet, even though I want to get to under 1,000. I don't want to get much lower than that. I thought that that was really interesting. So in 15 bundles, there were 79 total pieces. The average bundle size was like 4.79 pieces. So if you round up, about 5 items was like, just shy of 5 items was my average bundle size, which I found to be really interesting. So let's start with the different categories that I love to go over. By the way, I am in my new office and I'm really enjoying it in here. It echoes a little bit, and I need to like work on my lighting a little bit, but it's been really fun. I've lived in this office since I did the makeover. Thank you for all of your words of encouragement and people who like gave me feedback and watched my video, my makeover video, which I can link here. Let's go over my top sales. I had some really big ticket items sell this month, and again, not the time I would expect some of these things to sell. And I'm going to talk about one particular sale on eBay, but the rest will be over here. My biggest sale of the month did happen to be on eBay, and it was these Giuseppe Zanotti heels that finally sold. I listed them for $375. I bought them for like $4.80 or $4.60 at Savers. I listed them for $375, and I got a $275 offer on eBay, which I quickly accepted. And those are off to their owner. They paid right away. I shipped them out. I haven't heard anything, knock on wood. I hope it stays. But I was so thrilled with that sale. And when you look at these shoes, would you ever imagine that these would sell in quarantine? Someone's having fun with these shoes somewhere. They went off to California. So that was my number one sale, but that happened to not, it was cross-posted. It was on both platforms, but the sale came through on eBay. So in order from highest to lowest, now let's go lowest to highest because I gave you my highest sale. I did sell this Burberry shirt for men. It's a button-down shirt. I had it listed for $85 and I got a $60 offer and I accepted. Now this shirt, while it was a beautiful shirt, anytime I can get like the plaid Novacek Burberry, it always, I feel like, ups the sale value because people love to show off the checks for Burberry. But this had a lot of wear on the seams and on the cuffs, like wash wear. Like, you know how when you wash something so many times, it starts to get like a whitish, like some of the fabric color was fading. So I did note that in the listing, but it still sold for $60. I was happy with that. The next item that sold were these Frye boots. And I wanted to talk about these Frye boots because I purchased these and they were somewhat damaged. The back heel, the back of the heels showed extreme wear, almost like it was worn away. So the bottom of the heel wasn't flat. It was almost on an angle. And I purchased them at like a mom and pop store, obviously before quarantine. And the women who ran the store were really nice. They were listed for $9.99, so I was kind of like debating because that's a little bit higher than my average cost of goods. Typically, my average cost of goods is around $5, but for Frye boots, I would obviously spend a little more. But these were worn, and the women were so nice, and they said, you know, would you buy them for $5 or would you buy them for $6? They knocked some money off, so I was pretty confident with that I would be able to flip them for a decent amount. So I was really happy when I received a $64 offer on these boots. So next up is a really good sale from Lululemon that was part of my own collection when I cleaned out my closet. I had these Wonder Under limited edition, like ruffle calf velvet strip. Like I loved these pants so much. They were size 10, which is what I typically wear at Lululemon. I'm clearly like more like a size 12, 14, but I usually size down in Lululemon pants, but they were mid-rise, so they never really felt great. You know, like the big belly, like I pull them up and I was having like the muffin top issue all the time in these pants. And I wanted to love them, but the truth of the matter is I needed to lose about 25 pounds before I could love them the way they deserve to be loved. So I finally decided I was gonna let them go, and should I lose the 25 pounds, I will buy them again for myself. But in the meantime, I wanted someone else to enjoy them. So they got a ton of attention. They ended up selling for full price, which was $75. Here's the funny part. The buyer messaged me, and she actually tagged me in a post on Instagram. She didn't message me, she tagged me. So I read the post, and she said something like, I had been eyeing these pants on lorisbostonfound for days, and I kept checking back, worried they were gonna sell. So her husband opened up his own Poshmark account and he bought them for her as a gift. But then she wrote, I love them so much, but I can't believe he submitted a full price offer. Like, I can't believe he didn't send an offer. And to be honest, I was shocked when they sold for full price because I had been sending offers as low as like, I think 60 or 55. I was definitely holding my ground on these because they were so special to me. I didn't want to let them go for cheap, but I certainly expected to at least sell them on a good offer, but they sold for full price. Somebody's husband went in, opened an account, and bought a pair of pants for her. How sweet is that, guy? I hope they were worth the $75. If you're watching, I hope you love them. Next up is this Gunny Sacks dress. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me mention this. This is the last of my Gunny Sacks dresses. I have sold 4. And one other one sold for $75 that had a lot of damage. One sold for $185, one sold for $149, and this one sold for $99. I was a little disappointed by the price, but to be honest, I've had it for a good 9 or 10 months, so I was really happy to move it, especially this month. It sold for $99, this beautiful peasant dress. This, I believe, was like the most simple of all of the dresses in a good way. Like, I feel like somebody could totally pull this off, and it's got huge Free People vibes, and someone could wear this to a festival. This dress was really beautiful, and I thought Ange looked really cute in it. I couldn't believe it sat for as long. This was cross-posted to eBay. I messed with the pricing a little bit. It was at $119 for a really long time. And then I think I got an offer on it. So that's why it sold for $99. Super thrilled that it moved. If you recall, when I did my What Sold video in March, the second half of March, I don't believe I even had one item that sold for over $49. And today I started my cutoff at $60 for like my top sales. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items that sold for over $60, plus the Giuseppe Zanotti shoes for $275. So this was a really good month for high ticket items, and I couldn't even believe it. So next up, let's move on. We are in the hundreds now. So the next item that sold was this Filson jacket. Found out about Filson watching Lavender Clothesline. She talks about it a lot. Thank you, Karen, for the tip. But she mentioned Filson. I never find Filson out here. I happened to buy this at Sierra Trading Post, which is owned by TJ Maxx. I went there after Christmas. The price tag on it was $299, their price tag, and it was marked down to $75. The retail on it was close to $500, so I picked it up. The comps, I definitely ran comps, always run comps on these big ticket items that I'm spending $75 on. With the exception of a Madewell bag, this was the most I had ever spent on something retail arbitrage. But I picked this up, $75. It sat for a while, a lot of interest. This is an example of a sale that happened because I started a conversation with someone. And I feel like I talked about this on a recent video. But anyways, he offered me 100. I didn't want to walk away from 100, so I put it in a bundle and I said, I am going to counter. I'm going to counter with my best offer. If I sold it to you for $100, I would essentially be losing money. So I think I sent him back 165, something around that ballpark. Because I was like, I would make money on that sale. And it's a big, heavy coat. I am looking to liquidate. I can't wait to shop when the stores open. If I went back to the thrift stores with 200 items in my closet, I wouldn't be sad. So I'm like, move it out, move it out. And we went back and forth, but at the end of the day, he said, can you do 160 shipped? So I said, sure. So he moved up from $100 to $153 was basically the offer he sent me. And then including the $710, we'd land around $160. So I was really happy with that. And I ended up making a little over $40 and the coat's gone and frees up space. So that was a good sale. The next two are really fun ones. You probably heard me talk about them, but the Rothys, the Aquarius limited edition Zodiac Rothys finally sold. And they sold on an offer for $170, and I was really happy. I was aiming high with those. If you remember, I paid $12 for those in the middle of Thriftless February when I wasn't supposed to be shopping, and I was at Savers, and I was thrilled. It was my first time finding Rothys. Not only did I find Rothys, but they were new without tag, and they were limited edition. I could not have been happier. And by the way, in the meantime, I have purchased my very own pair of Rothys, and I have to say, you know I have an addiction to teaks, and I think I like Rothys better. Maybe Rothys are just more quarantine friendly. They're a little bit more casual. They're a little bit more comfortable, but I got the camo Rothys, and I love them. The next thing I'm gonna buy are the slip-on sneakers with the white sole in the cheetah print. Can't wait. That's next on my list. Anyway, if you're interested in Rothy's, I do have a link. If you go into my Instagram, you get money off, I get money off. You know I love a good win-win situation. If you're a Rothy's girl and you've been on the fence and you want to treat yourself on Mother's Day, the link is in my Instagram bio and we can both make out and you can help me buy those leopard sneakers. So anyways, yes, they sold for $170. I had them listed at $349 for a while. Then I lowered the price to $275. There were people who have these astrology, these limited edition shoes listed for $700. So while $349, where I think I started them, was super high, I still was almost half the price of some of the listings. But anyways, I was really happy with $170. Those sold. And last in my top 5 sales, on Poshmark is I finally sold my vintage Gucci bag for $170. Went back and forth on this one and we finally landed at $170. I felt good about that. If you remember, I picked this up in an estate sale. I paid about $20 for this bag. I spent an additional $15 getting it authenticated at Real Authentication. So all in, I was about $35. I sold it for $170. Poshmark took their 20%. I still made out. I did really well. So those are my top sales and they were exciting. Let's move on to my top selling brands. I feel a little bit like a broken record because my top selling brands are always pretty similar, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't have the breakdown of how many I sold, but when I ran my report, these came up my top 5 selling brands. And they were. There's one in here that's making an appearance that usually isn't here. So in no particular order, my top selling brands this month were Lucky brand, Lululemon, LL Bean, which is new. I usually don't sell a ton of LL Bean, but LL Bean had a good month. Maybe because people are heading outdoors and they're spending some time outside, so I sold more outdoorsy things, but I don't know. And of course, Free People and Anthropology. Those are my top 5 selling brands this month. I have a couple By Felicias. A lot of my By Felicia stuff ended up. So By Felicia, if you are new to my channel, By Felicia are the items that I am dying to get rid of. And I just say, By Felicia, like they sell, they are out the door, and I am very excited. And somebody wrote to me recently and said that she sells Poshmark. Did I tell this last month? But somebody wrote and she said that a couple of girls in her office sell on Poshmark, and when they sell an item that's been around, that's like their joke in the office now, is they say By Felicia, which that just made my day. That's really fun. By Felicia is kind of catchy. So 2 items I'm going to talk about right off the bat, and one is from one of my favorite brands, but Madewell. Some of my Madewell stuff is just lingering these days. This Madewell mountain sweatshirt. I was so excited when I found this, and I think I paid around $6 or $7 at Savers. It definitely wasn't like a bins purchase. I paid some money for it. Thought it was so cute. I found these great pictures. I think a blogger is the one who modeled these pictures. But anyways, I probably had it over $40. It has been in my closet forever. I think I got it in the summer, so I wasn't surprised when it didn't sell at first, and I thought, oh my gosh, for sure, this fall, winter, Mountain Lodge, cozy sweatshirt, Madewell, guaranteed it's gonna sell. Nope, didn't sell all winter. And so then finally I got a $20 offer in April as we're heading into spring and summer, and I jumped all over it because who knows if it sits in my closet for summer, if I would have ever sold it. So $20 By Felicia. I was so excited for that to go. Second item was this Helly Hansen jacket. If you have been watching me for a while, you know anything with a brick background is from October of 2018. I had a brick background for about a month. I listed a lot that month. Every time I see a brick background, it automatically goes into the By Felicia category. Then this Helly Hansen jacket sold for $20. I was really happy to see that go as well. Let's talk a little bit about my LBF bundle boxes. So this was the first time, so LBF standing for Lori's Boston Found. I didn't want to market them as reseller boxes, and I didn't want to market them as mystery boxes because I wanted people to know what was inside. So I simply marketed them, and I will continue to do it this way as just a bundle box. So if you would like, come on in, Lo, come on. I have between 5 and 7 items in each bundle box, and they sell for $30. I only do one shot. I do like a flat lay of all of the items in my photo box. So they're like scrunched up and folded. It's not like you're getting a full view of anything, but I also feature all of my bundle boxes on my YouTube channel. Thus far, I've done it that way. So I'll quickly show the items at the end of a video, or I had one video that was completely designated to bundle boxes, and I show what's in the video. I show in the video what's in the box, and then people know, and if they don't sell right away, they haven't been really selling, because usually it's people who watch the video and within that week they will be sold. So I think I have 3, maybe 4 bundle boxes left of all the ones that I sold, but I sold 22 bundle boxes in the month of April. So that was really good. And I know I sold some to my viewers, so thank you so much. I feel like that's where most of them were to my viewers. And some people bought multiple ones. So thank you to Vicky, thank you to Susie, thank you to anybody else who bought multiples. So I sold one as a bundle for $50 with discounted shipping to someone who had already bought 5 of them. Outside of that, the other 20 sold for full price at $30 a piece. So in total, my bundle boxes were $650 worth of sales for the month. It wasn't meant to be a huge profit. It was meant to move stuff because, as you know, I have an issue with an abundance of inventory. So I wanted to get them out. I'm going to continue with bundle boxes. I think I have 3 that are pre-made and on shorter videos, not this one, but I'll include them at the end of the video for people who are still looking for them. So they're great as reseller boxes. If you choose to use them that way, they're great as just like some inventory for you. I vary in sizes. I try to do some sort of a theme, like an athletic box, or a box with all Old Navy, or mixed women's, or a size of just larges. Like I try to somehow put a theme there, and that seems to work. So that worked out really well. I really enjoyed selling those as a way to get through things, because typically I work with consignment stores and I'm not able to go to the consignment store. So this is a way to move stuff. And I end up making a little bit more than I would, I think, at a typical consignment store. A few surprises I want to talk about. I just want to mention them because I feel like these sales might help you moving forward. So one of these things that this is a flawed item, like the fry boots. And I'm sharing these because I don't want anyone to be afraid to list flawed items. As long as you're including what the flaw is, then you tell your consumer exactly what they're getting. You can sell so many flawed items as long as you're upfront about what the issues are. India Hicks. India Hicks was a direct sales company that recently either filed for bankruptcy or they just didn't make it. And I had a good friend whose sister sold India Hicks, and I actually love this line. I love the woman's story. It was a company that really was all about lifting up other women. I love to support them. They were definitely more expensive, but I did buy a few pieces for them, and I love everything that I've ever purchased from India Hicks. So this caftan, I actually bought not direct from the company because it was a previous season, but I bought it on eBay. And I want to say I paid like $30 or $32 for it on eBay, and it was new with tag. Well, when it arrived to me, the tie that went like underneath your chest, it was like empire waist. You could wear it as a cover up. They had it marketed with jeans. It was super cute. I love the colors. That was out. And there was also a bug in the bag that had smooshed. And so it like was stained. And then the fabric was bleeding in all sorts of places. It was a little bit of a mess. And I was like, gosh, this is new in the package. There's a bug in here. The things out of the... So I messaged the woman, and she was incredible customer service. She said, keep that, I'm sending you a new one, because she had multiples. So the second one came. It was flawless. I wear it. I love it. Then I had this. I disclosed all the flaws, and I listed it for $38. This was one of the things from my closet that I cleared out during my Marie Kondo video that I'll link up here or here. I don't know where it goes. When I listed it for $38. I disclosed all the flaws, and I thought to myself, I'd be happy with $15 for this or $20 for this, but it retailed for like $88. So listed it for $38, and it was a full price sale. So I was really happy with that. I was surprised it sold for that much. I thought I would receive an offer. So list those flawed items as long as they're desirable. People can overlook a flaw if they're going to get a good price on something. I actually made money on that. So it was free. And the other one, I think I only paid $30 or $32 for. So that was crazy. That was a really great scenario. The next thing I want to talk about is a lot less about brands and just more about a trend I have seen. One of the most underrated categories, in my opinion, are desirable pajamas. I feel like I have done pretty well selling PJs of different types. Victoria's Secret stuff sells well, some vintage pajamas do really well, but one of the areas that I have found to be pretty successful are novelty prints for pajamas, specifically animals. In the past, I have sold, I think the brand is called Monkey Monkey, M-U-N-K-I, Monkey Monkey. I first found a nightgown that had foxes, and then I think I found another one with bunnies or something. But anyways, they both sold. So I came across these pajamas. I can't remember the brand on these, but they had elephants and they kind of had like a Indian vibe. They only sold for $18, but it's one of those things. I feel like the pajama section at Savers, at least, is usually really affordable. I can find their prices marked like $3.99, $4.99, and then you hit like a half off sale. All of a sudden you're spending $2 and you're like, someone is going to like these. So anytime I find a novelty print on pajamas, it's kind of in line with the look that I like. I don't do a lot of like cutesy, like Winnie the Pooh stuff like that for my closet, although there's definitely a market for that. I do have Disney things in my closet, but I just mean like a novelty print of an animal or something. Llamas do really well. I've had success selling llama stuff. Anyways, that was a surprise and I was pretty excited about that. The next thing that I want to talk about is this star sweater. So when you look at this sweater, I'm going to pause, say out loud, what brand does this make you think of? Did anybody say Wild Fox? Because when I saw this, I was so excited. I was 100% certain that this was Wild Fox, but it had no tag on it. So I looked it up and I found like identical style Wild Fox star sweaters, but not in this print. So I listed it, it didn't have a tag on it, and I listed it at $28, and I think I referenced, like it looks like a Wild Fox, but there is no tag, I can't be certain. Priced it at $28, and it sold for full price. So not the biggest deal as far as like, it's not a huge ticket item, but afterwards, or at some point after I had already listed it, somebody messaged me, and I think it was like a Forever 21 brand, or it was a brand that I probably wouldn't have picked up had it had the label inside of it. And isn't that funny? Because based on the look of it without the label, it reminded me of Wild Fox. And I was like, oh, if this is Wild Fox, this is a gem. I'm picking this up. If it was like a Target brand, like Wild Fable, like I find like they have really cute stuff, but it's Wild Fable, it's Target. You can't get the return on that you can on some higher. This is an instance where I really think that the fact that it didn't have a brand tag worked to my advantage. And I would say 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. So I just thought that that was an interesting thing to talk about, that this sold for $28. So to circle back a little bit to bundles, I just want to quickly say that my largest bundle had 14 items in it, and it sold for $223. Another bundle with 9 items that sold for $159. Had a 6-item bundle that sold for $95. Had an 8-item bundle that sold for $130. And then I had a lot, like a 4-item bundle for $65, a 2-item bundle for $42, a 3-item bundle for $65. A lot of the lower priced items are in my bundles, and I look at that as a real positive thing. So things that have been in my closet for a long time sometimes are just right for people to throw into a bundle and hand me an offer that I'm usually more than willing to take. And this month, I also want to say that 95% of my bundles, unless somebody paid for it outright, which I think 1 or 2 people just bundled and took the 15% discount, I offered double my normal discount, which is 15%. So I offered 30% off all bundles this month, and that really helped get me a lot of bundle sales. So I just wanted to say that. I had 1 return, but I had 2 cases opened. But one went in my favor, and it was for these Kendall and Kylie shoes. The customer said that the strap wasn't long enough to get around their ankle, but I actually disclosed the measurement of the strap. So Poshmark actually ruled in my favor on that one because I gave a thorough description of the shoes, so there wasn't really any room for error there. The other one, these sneakers, these Hoka One sneakers, do you have any luck with these? I hear people talk about them. They're totally not my jam as far as style goes, but I have picked them up at the bins, and that's where these came from. And this was supposed to be an $18 sale. This was one of those like, not my favorite style, was looking to move it out of my closet. It would have been a buy, Felicia. And I have 2 pairs of these, and I sent the wrong pair. I sent the blue pair to the woman who bought the pink pair. And the second I sent it out, I had this like moment as soon as the mail pickup came. I was like, I definitely sent the wrong sneakers. And I went downstairs, looked in my bin, and sure enough, I had sent the wrong ones. So obviously took that back without question. And I need to relist that and reconnect with that person. I also had to cancel a sale today. So to my friend Nancy, thank you for your patience. Couldn't find a Vineyard Vine shirt to save my life. And she was so patient. I think it went on for like 2 weeks maybe, that I kept saying, well, let me find the shirt, or she didn't want to cancel the sale because she really wanted this shirt. It was just a Vineyard Vines navy blue shirt with a whale. Looked and looked, I still cannot find it. So she was kind enough. So I said, is there anything else you want? Listen to this story. She said, sure. Well, I looked through your whole closet, like I have so many items, and she said, I really like the Boston Strong t-shirt. It was this navy blue shirt, had this S with the B and Strong from the Boston Marathon bombing. You know, Boston Strong was our motto for many years after. So something about when she said it to me, I'm like, why do I feel like I've sold that? So I went in, and sure enough, it was listed. And then I thought about this bundle that I sold to a local woman who picked up like all the Boston sports stuff in my closet. Like I think she got 2 Patriots shirts, a Red Sox shirt, a Patriots knit cap. She was like a total Boston, New England girl. And so it stood out to me because I said, I think I sold that. I listed it twice. And it just so happened that the one other thing Nancy wanted from my closet was something I had already sold and then listed a second time. Honestly, I don't know where my head is sometimes. I'm calling it quarantine brain these days. But anyway, so I had to go back to her, literally with my tail between my legs, and say, I am so sorry. She's like, are you sending the Boston Strong, or how do we leave things? I'm like, no, I was basically like, didn't want to go back and say to her that I messed up again. So couldn't find the navy blue whale shirt. And then the one shirt she asked for that I would have been more than happy to include in that bundle and send it off, because there was also a pair of shoes in the bundle, I had already sold, but it was listed as available. So I deleted the listing, and then I ended up canceling the order because she really wanted the Vineyard Vine shirt more than she wanted the shoes that were in the bundle. So if I find it again, I'm going to relist, tag her, and hopefully Nancy will be able to get the items she wanted. But what a mess up. Do you ever have those transactions where it just goes from bad to worse to really bad? Like I couldn't win. It just kept getting worse. So anyways, those are my returns and cases and stuff that happened in the month of April. But overall, it was still a good month. And then I'm going to talk really quickly about things that sold really inexpensive. And I don't think I'm going to put these up here. I don't even think I'm going to add the image, but I'm just going to let you know some of the lower priced items that I had. So for starters, I sold a pair of kids' Keen shoes for $14. A lot of my children's stuff sells for under $20, which is why I don't pick it up anymore. It's like my lowest percentage of what I sell as far as quantity and price. So it just doesn't make sense for me. It's not a big part of my closet, so I'm always looking to move those. Pair of Keen shoes for kids, $14. I sold a pair of really cute floral embroidered Old Navy Rockstar jeans that I thought were really, really cute, but they had been in my closet for a while. I sent an offer for $17 with discounted shipping. Somebody accepted. I was happy to move those. The brand Pink. It was the MLB series, so it was a Red Sox shirt, a little blinged up. It was short sleeved. I received a $15 offer for that. It definitely showed some signs of wash wear, so I moved that, and that pink shirt sold for $15. I don't know that I am going to continue to pick up pink. I have a lot of like leftover pink that was either given to me or Angie wore, you know, back in middle school or early high school, or stuff that I picked up earlier in my journey that I just wouldn't pick up again. Unless it's a really unique piece, I'm probably gonna leave pink behind from now on. And kid stuff, I'm not picking up as much. I probably would have picked up those Old Navy jeans again at the bins because they were really cute and I happen to like Old Navy jeans. Hilton Head t-shirt. This was a cool vintage t-shirt. It was single stitch. I paid, I think 60 cents for it. It was at a fill-a-bag at a rummage sale, and I accepted a $15 offer, or I sent an offer for $15, but this sold for $15. And then this last item that I'm going to mention is a pair of Crocs. It happened to be a day that I was online and one of the members of our reselling community, who I really respect, was talking, and she said, don't be crazy when you get the lower sales. Some days you just got to take the sales and move on. And I got this $12 offer on a pair of Crocs that I had listed for $25. I do pretty decent with Crocs. I usually sell them for like $18 or $20. So I often list them at $25. And I got a $12 offer, and I'm like, Crocs really isn't my style. It's not something that I'm excited to see in my closet, but I pick them up at the bins because they weigh next to nothing. So I took that $12 offer, and it was the lowest priced item that I sold in the entire month. But I have to say, I don't miss those Crocs. And to be quite honest, it's very rare that I sell something and I regret selling it, even if it sold for a price lower than I wanted to sell. But I'll tell you one thing, there are many times I regret not taking an offer. So if it's between taking an offer or making a lower sale or countering or declining, really reconsider whether or not you want to take that offer. And remember, in the algorithm on Poshmark, I think it works in your favor if you're accepting offers, and it kind of gets the juices flowing on the website. And then I think sometimes that leads to more sales. So that was good advice I received at the right time, and I took that sale and I ended up having a really good sales day that day. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I always find it really helpful to see what's selling in different people's closets. Let me know in the comments below how your sales were in the month of April. Did you find April to be stronger than March? And is May off to a good start for you? May is off to a little bit of a slower start for me. One, because my dad isn't sharing. He's still out with a wrist injury. And Dad, if you're watching, this is not pressure for you to come back because I want you to get better. But I'm having to share more, which is taking away from my time listing and doing other things. And because I did like the room makeover, I haven't been making as much time for listing. So I definitely need to get back into a rhythm there so that my numbers don't take a hit this month. But I love looking at stats and I love seeing what's selling for me. It's always helpful moving forward. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you are interested in reseller content. Take care, stay home if you can, stay safe, and I'll be back real soon, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.